Good evening. I'm Rhett Wacaser, and this is what's happening in your world today. The 2025-2026 college football season is upon us. It may feel like summer's going to last forever, but the reality is it is always at the end before we know it. With that being said, the athletes are still practicing. In the hot summer sun, the SEC is getting better by the minute every single day, as they always will be. In the alpha category, with the rest of the conferences always being very, very, very below that. What we're going to be focusing on with this podcast is quarterbacks, defense, offense, behind the scenes that we don't see. We've all watched the playoffs. We know how messed up the college football committee is, right? They're pulling the strings. We don't see them. I don't know if anyone else has even a clue of how much control that they have. And we're not awake to this, right? We don't know this truth. And that's what this podcast will be focusing on is. And every year, we're disappointed, right? As far as being a Clemson fan my whole life, I can tell you, I thought Clemson was a righteous place with wonderful people, Christians, Jews, Muslims, a beautiful area, right? Just a great place to be, right? Everyone's there, everyone's happy, like Disney World. And the reality is...
Hey folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig, aren't you interrupting the story at the most suspenseful part? Well, the answer is yes, Sally. Yes, I am.
Is the evil white man runs the college, right? I can tell you, I've seen it. All right, there's some idiots there that shouldn't even be there. But their daddy's money gets them through. I understand the Clemson hate. As someone that attends it, I understand the truth.
Get ready to lose some pounds. Get ready to get shot and thrown in a ditch. Get ready to get dipped in acid baths. But first, you're going to get raped.
We have to be awake to this evil that is all around us, that we are not taking into account every day of our lives. It starts today. We need to wake up, people. Wake up. Because the fact is, everyone believes that Cade Klubnik is going to be the best quarterback of this upcoming 2025 season. And as a Clemson fan who has watched him for the past 3 seasons, I can tell you, not one game has he proven to me that he can do that. Not one. That's what the questions have been. What do you think about Cade Klubnik? Why do you hate Cade Klubnik? I don't hate Cade Klubnik, people. I actually think he's a pretty cool guy. I actually think he's probably the most likable college football player I have ever seen. Trevor Lawrence, he was great, right? He was a good guy, but he looked like a horse. He was quiet. Deshaun Watson, great guy, an athletic guy, born to be a quarterback, ran a lot. We all know what happened after, so we forget about him, okay? Cade Klubnik, you already care about him. He's your leader, God's righteous man, right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you this. As someone that watches every move, I'm not confident in him. Now, real football people can tell you, the numbers, they don't mean anything. Prophecies, right? Ideologies. Things that don't make sense with sports. But the reality is a team can have a great record and play one bad game and lose to Vanderbilt. Lose to a nobody, right? It's just like, oh, well, they're undefeated. They're going to win every game. They're going to beat everybody. They're going to go to the national championship. Friends, a 14-1 team will always beat a 15-0 team. That is always the case. I have yet to see that happen.
I just loved it when our quarterback shredded the defense. I mean, just ripped them. Like watching Jared Goff go 18 for 18, 292 yards and 2 touchdowns. I couldn't do that pregame warm-up.
I'm sorry. I had to take a brief interlude there because I almost lost my cool. Some of this stuff can just make my skin boil because I can see through the lies and the deceit, and not everyone else can. I sometimes think of myself as, if you watch Infinity War as if Thanos was the good guy, really changes your perspective on the guy. Murdered trillions, but the idea, not too bad. That's a rabbit hole we'll go down another day. What I'm going to do now is read off about 2 or 3 questions that you guys have asked for me to address. what is your end goal and hope that people will get from this platform? From Terrell.
Shit, look at this honky.
Well, hello, Terrell. I'm glad you're asking these questions. Well, the whole goal of the Primal Chronicles podcast is so that you guys can feel as if your voice is being heard and your opinion matters. Because if it's anything I value more than my own opinion, it's the exact opposite of my opinion from someone with good evidence, right? A good source, right? Everyone has different perceptions and seasons of life. So, those who are against me, I still support you. I have a meme here that somewhere. Anyways, that concludes our questions that we'll be answering for today's episode. Going on from here, I will be usually hosting with a special guest pretty much every episode. Some will show up occasionally, come back and forth, and some will be a one-time thing. The college football era, as I said, always changing. Wrong, but I believe that next week is our special guest, who is a longtime World War II artifact collector, who will be covering for about 25% of our next video. We're going to take a break from sports and talk about world events. Next week's topic is going to be the Middle East. I hope all of you will be listening to that, because we all know it's the fall. And yeah, my last ending quote for you guys will be that one time I got a Chinese fortune cookie, and it said, "Work hard, be nice." That's God's intention. With that being said, everybody, hope you have a great rest of your week. In the meantime, await my instructions. We will be ready for the new world order. When it comes, they're going to be the ones that scare us. Thank you, America. And I'll see you later, San Diego.